Welcome back, everybody. So a couple of weeks ago I released my how to layer clothing like a thru hiker video, but I purposefully left out rain gear because I really wanted to flesh it out and give it a little more detail. And that's what this week's video is going to be about. And like I mentioned last time, although this is thru hiking advice, it really applies to any hike or backpacking trip you may go on. All you have to do is adapt the different layers you take based on the weather and the location you're heading out to. And as always, just remember that this is my personal way of layering rain gear, and even though it is fairly common among thru hikers to layer this way, you really want to experiment with your own personal comfort zone, and you don't just want to jump out there and take the lightest gear and get stranded or something. So just kind of ease in and find out what works best for you. Okay, enough disclaimers, let's get to the good stuff. So when I'm deciding what rain gear to take with me on a specific hike, I'm normally choosing between two systems that I've set up. On the left is my do-it-all minimalist system, and on the right is my heavier weight cold weather / heavy rain monsoon season system. 90% of the time that I'm on trail, I'm using the system on the left. It's much lighter and it's a little simpler and more compact. But for the times when it's getting really cold or during monsoon season when it's raining a lot, I'll swap out to the heavier system temporarily. I'm going to start off here by outlining my minimalist system. For me, the main focus of any rain gear system should be the jacket. And if you have a limited budget, this is where most of your money should be going. So for my everyday jacket, I use an Outdoor Research Helium 2 jacket. And this is the jacket I use for most of the PCT and most of the CDT as well. So rain jackets are kind of funny because they're not something you need most of the time, but it's just for those limited moments when it's raining or really cold that you really want it and you need it to perform well. And that's why I recommend using a minimalist jacket like this for your everyday jacket in most conditions. About 80% of the time when it's not raining, this jacket's just going to be sitting in your pack and taking up space. So it's worth sacrificing a little bit of comfort in the rain for long-term weight savings and packability. For me, this jacket really fits that minimalist niche very well. It's light enough at around 6 ounces that you can throw it in your pack and not really notice it, but it's going to be there to keep you warm and dry when it does start raining. Now this is a minimalist jacket, so in order to save that weight, it does cut some features that you'll find in heavier jackets. Most noticeably, it's lacking hand pockets, and it's a little tighter fit than you'll find with most rain jackets. In addition, it uses a lighter weight Pertex shield fabric to save weight over the traditional Gore-Tex. Now as far as breathability goes, in pretty much any rain jacket, breathability is a joke. Just due to the differences in humidity, you're really not going to get much breathing going on. And no matter what, you're going to get a little sweat trapped in there, and this one's no different. And honestly, it compares pretty favorably to the Gore-Tex jacket I'll be showing later anyways. And there are a few lightweight jacket options out there now, so give them all a look. For me, the OR Helium is still the best choice for now, and I know the Marmot Mica is tempting, but it tends to delaminate, so I'd stick away from that one. Alright, so moving down, you'll see that oftentimes I carry an Ultralight Umbrella with me. Now this probably sounds absurd for a lightweight setup, but if you really look at it, there are some great benefits to umbrellas. So this one comes in at around 8 ounces. It's a Go-Lite Chrome Dome, and as you know, Go-Lite's no longer around, but there are some companies that are still selling it, so I'll put some links in the description and on the website. But anyways, hiking with an umbrella, and I'll probably do a video on this at some point just because it's really great and not a lot of people do it, but there's a lot of benefits. So first off, on really cold days when you're hiking in the rain, the umbrella sheds the rain away from you, and so you don't have this constant flow over your jacket or over your skin that's sucking away your body heat, so it keeps you a lot warmer. Now, on the other end of things, on warmer days, I really like just throwing on my rain skirt and popping up my umbrella. Don't even wear a jacket. I stay perfectly dry, and I get a nice breeze, and I'm not sweating like I would with a jacket. So it's really nice. And in addition to that, you have the benefits of being able to use it in the hot desert to keep the sun off and provide some shade, keep the sunburn away, or in the door of your tarp to keep the rain from bouncing in. And the best thing is you can use it in the rain to be able to take pictures or read a map without getting wet. So umbrellas are really jacks of all trades, and I actually highly recommend trying one on trail if you haven't yet. Okay, so moving on to the final piece of my lightweight kit, which is a rain skirt or rain kilt. So you won't see too many thru hikers that wear rain pants. They're just really heavy, They tend to overheat a lot faster than a jacket does, and you'll get soaked and you get sweaty and they get muddy, and for most of the thru hiking season, they're just not really practical. So a lot of people just end up not wearing any sort of rain protection for their legs, and yeah, your shorts get wet, but they dry out fast, and you always have a base layer you can swap into to stay dry at night. But what I like to do is wear a rain skirt, and you don't see this too often, but if you give it a try, you might find that you really like it. It's a great, super light way, around 1.7 ounces, to make sure that your shorts stay dry, but you're not going to overheat. You stay airy, you get a nice airflow, and it's also good for having a little cover up to do laundry in town with. When I had to, I would throw on a rain skirt and hopefully something else underneath it and my rain jacket, and then I could wash all of my other laundry as well. So this rain skirt is one that I made myself, and I'll probably do a video instructional on how to do that later, but they are available from some cottage companies as well. You can see they're very compact when they're folded up, so they really don't take much room up in your pack. Well, that sums up my lightweight rain gear setup, and that's what I use about 90% of the time. But for that other 10%, when it starts to get really cold or when it gets really rainy, I like to swap out for a heavier duty set of rain gear that's going to hold up to the rain a little better, and it's going to keep me a little warmer too. The first substitution I make is swapping out the lightweight OR rain jacket for a heavier duty Gore-Tex jacket. And I do this for two reasons. First off, the Gore-Tex is going to be a little better at shedding water and keeping me dry for longer, and also it's going to be a little thicker and warmer for those cold days. Now this jacket is an Arc'teryx Beta SL jacket, and though I really do like it and I would recommend it, it's hard to recommend at its price point, which is around $250 to $300, so I just happened to pick it up at an REI garage sale for about $50 and really lucked out. But there are plenty of other great Gore-Tex options out there. Just make sure that you look for a real Gore-Tex jacket and not some of the other laminates that you'll find, because they just tend to fall apart. The penalty of having a warmer and heavier jacket like this is the weight. And this one comes in at about double the weight of the helium, near 12 ounces. I don't want to spend too much time on this video on how to select a Gore-Tex jacket like this, but I will give you some quick tips. And the first thing you want is a really well-fitting hood. So you want it to be able to adjust just perfectly to your face so you don't have water blowing in and potentially running down your neck and getting you really cold. Also, you can see the pit zips here, which are extremely helpful for venting and keeping you cool, because like I said, even though they're marked as breathable, these jackets really don't breathe too well, so all the ventilation you can get really helps to keep you cool. And also, a generous cut is a very nice thing to have. And you can see this jacket, it fits me really well, and it also has this long tail end that covers my pants and my butt, and it keeps water from running down my back, which is really nice. So look for a nice cut, and you might have to try on several jackets to find this. Moving on downward, the final thing I'm going to talk about are the dreaded rain pants. And like I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of rain pants, and I normally either don't wear lower rain gear or wear a rain skirt. So when I turn to rain pants, it's normally for really cold conditions, like cold, rainy days, or snow conditions. So if you're crossing a lot of snow fields and you're having to sit on snow, or you're post-holing all the time, it's nice to have rain pants to protect your legs. The real challenge with rain pants is finding a pair that's both lightweight and functional. And it's not really something I've done yet, so I don't have any great recommendations. I would stay away from White Sierra, which is what these are, and they're just really clammy and they don't really function well. And I always get wet in these, so I would recommend a different pair than these, but on the other hand, I don't have a great recommendation for you. I do know that Outdoor Research has a pair of helium rain pants, so that may be worth a try. So when you look for rain pants, I like to find two things, and that is pants that fit fairly close to my legs that aren't excessively baggy, because I found that the baggy pants pick up a lot of mud and it gets caked everywhere, and it's just a real hassle. And also, I like pants that have adjustable footholes, so you can slip them on over your shoes. You don't have to finagle and take off your shoes when you want your rain pants on, which is essential for those sudden downpours. And also, that allows you to actually cinch the pants around your shoes, keeping the extra mud and water out as best you can. Alrighty guys and gals, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And if you want to keep content like this coming, head on over to my Patreon page and help support it. It really means a lot to me, and what's really cool is we're almost to my goal of completely eliminating ads from my website, which would be awesome. I'd love to get there. Thanks again for watching.